Social media. I wish we could live without it. I don't think we ever will be able to. We know that sleep training and secure attachment often are opposing forces, right? I am here to explain why they actually can be synonymous. Let's talk all about it. Hi, my name is Sarah Bossio, and as the lead pediatric sleep expert at Your Zen Baby Sleep, I have helped hundreds and hundreds of families get the sleep they need securely. Guess what? Their babies and their toddlers love their parents and vice versa, and I'm really excited for you to learn from me. Okay, so I say this kind of in jest and sarcastically, right? And this is how I work. I like to be funny and bring in a lot of real world sarcasm to my practice, but I also really want to talk about the actual science behind secure attachment and what it means, because I don't know, there's just a lot of nonsense on social media. I think we all get swept up in it. It's really easy to, right? Especially if you're in the throes of the newborn days and if you're up in the middle of the night nursing a baby, or even just kind of rocking your kid and you're scrolling on your phone. I'm gonna admit it right now. Like my kids know, this is actually a funny story, like my 5-year-old there's a little crack in the door and she'll know if I'm hiding in the bathroom to actually go to the bathroom or if I'm there to like scroll on my phone. She knows the difference, right? So sometimes we veg out on social media, and what we're consuming can really have an influence on the way that we're parenting. And sometimes it is not from people who are getting their information from reliable sources. I really pride myself in being a reliable source, and I want to be able to provide you with a reason that sleep training does actually create a secure attachment for your child. I also am not the type of person that wants to throw any shade at people for their sleep choices at all. Whatever you're doing with your kid, if it's working, it is all good for me. It does not bother me. I am here for the people who are struggling with their sleep, who don't want to co-sleep anymore, who can't handle rocking, who don't want to be nursing 17 times a night any longer, whose sleep is not sustainable, okay? If those categories don't bother you, I love it. I love it. It's all good. So this is a video for people who are in those categories and they're like, oh God, I don't want to be in these categories, but I have this little birdie in the back of my mind saying if I sleep train that I'm not going to have a child who's securely attached to me, and I should nurse all night long because that's the only way to create secure attachment. And it means I'm going to abandon my child, right? It's almost like we can't figure out a way to make those synonymous with each other. And I want to make you know and empower you that that's just not the case, all right? So no judgment. There can be intermixing of all of these ideas because that is life, people. We don't have to have these freaking polar opposites all of the time. We can have all of these things living in the same world together. So with the least amount of judgment possible, this is just stating facts, I want to explain one point of view. This is simply a point of view and a perspective. We can interpret this in any way we would like, and I'm going to state this as factually as possible. So I want you to picture, if you are a family who is kind of toying with the idea of sleep training, you might have your nights going something like this. You have a 7-month-old, okay? Your 7-month-old nurses to sleep at bedtime. So they're at mom's breast at bedtime, and this is how they fall asleep, completely asleep. Then they're put into bed. Inevitably, 45 minutes later, your 7-month-old wakes up. Dad goes into the room and then rocks to sleep. Dad puts the 7-month-old back into her crib. Then you get like a 2 or 3 hour stretch. Awesome. 7-month-old wakes up. Mom goes back into the room. This time, Dad goes in and brings a bottle. Okay, so Dad brings a bottle because now Mom actually does her first stretch, right? So that's how we've decided to break up our night, so Mom can get some of a stretch. She nurses, Dad brings a bottle. Now the baby falls back to sleep at the bottle. And then the baby wakes up, I don't know, let's say 2 hours later. Mom goes in, does one more nursing session, and then maybe 2 hours later, Dad goes in, can't rock her back to sleep, and it's like, forget it, she's just gonna come into bed with us. Some of these scenarios might sound familiar. I want you to think about the ways in which that baby may have fallen asleep. So we fell asleep at the breast, we fell asleep in Dad's arms, We fell asleep at the bottle. We fell asleep in dad's arms again, maybe, I think. We fell asleep in the bed with the parents, right? Even though I'm actually losing track. So there are quite a few ways in which the baby fell asleep. So how can we interpret this as a baby, right? Perception, okay? We can interpret this as, okay, we are meeting all of her needs. We are, attending to exactly what she's requesting. We can also interpret this as, that can be very confusing. We don't know what's coming next. We don't know if it's the breath. We don't know if it's the bottle. We don't know if it's rocking. We don't know if it's the bed. This is a perception. For a minute, I want you to just go with that with me. If we interpret it as, that's a little confusing, I don't really know what to expect, that could actually cause confusion and a little bit of insecurity. I have no idea how I'm gonna fall asleep and where I'm gonna end up sleeping tonight. I want you to then go to the world of sleep training. When we are sleep training, what we are teaching is consistency. You are falling asleep from an awake state in the same location every night at the same time every night, and you are taking naps at the same time every day in the same location every day, so that when you wake up every night in the middle of the night, we are doing the same process every single time. So baby is put in the crib completely awake. She knows I am awake and I am in my crib and I am being checked on. One person comes in and checks on me, checks on me, checks on me, checks on me. I fall asleep. Okay, so I'm being supported. I know they love me. I know that they're coming back. They're comforting me. They're providing support, and I fall asleep. And then I wake up and they come back and they support me and they comfort me and they're doing the same exact thing. I'm still in the crib and they're supporting and they're comforting. And then I wake up and I'm in the crib, right? I'm not gonna do this because now I sound like a broken record, but I think you get the point. And then the naps, it's the same thing. And this is what we do. It's consistent. And very, very quickly what happens is the crib becomes consistent. And this is what is the security. Now it's, oh my gosh, I love the crib. The crib is where I sleep. I sleep all night long. This is what provides the trust. This is where I love being. This is where I know my parents are supporting me. This is how I know that my sleep needs are being met. This is how I know I am getting long and deep stretches of sleep, right? So if we interpret the way that the baby is sleeping now from a perspective of sleep is a priority and sleep is for our health and our growth and our development, we can interpret sleep training as synonymous with creating secure attachment. Because now what the baby understands is that when I go to bed, I know exactly what to expect. I know that when I go into my crib, I'm going to expect to wake up in my crib. I am no longer wondering, will I fall asleep at the breast and wake up someplace completely different? Because when I used to do that, that would freak me out, that I would wake up someplace completely different. To summarize, I am in no way, shape, or form wanting to guilt or shame or to put down or anything. None of that. Any choices that any parents want to make. However, what I do want to do is debunk or demystify this concept that if you choose to sleep train, you cannot create a secure attachment with your children. Because one important part of the attachment theory is healthy boundaries. And when we are sleep training, we are establishing and maintaining those healthy boundaries with our children and creating those really, really healthy sleep practices that will last for a lifetime. I absolutely love helping to empower parents to make sleep priority and to get sleep in order, especially if you're feeling shameful or if you're feeling guilty or if you really just feel lost because there's just so much information and you don't know which way to go. So if you have questions about it, I'm here in the comments. I answer it. It's actually me who goes down. It's not another person who answers anything, any of your questions. So scroll down, leave me a comment on your way. Make sure that you like the video so that I know that you find this content to be helpful. Subscribe and turn on notifications because nobody needs to be sleep deprived. You can be the first to know when I publish my new sleep content. I love that you are here and that I can get your sleep on track. As always, from my living room to yours, thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you next time.